But to the Zachary Rolfe scandal I mentioned last night, there were further developments today, excuses, denials that I found laughable. And I actually have one more video that I didn't show you last night that will explain exactly why. Now, let me quickly sketch out the case again. Last Friday, after 2 years, Constable Zachary Rolfe was finally cleared by a jury of the murder in the Aboriginal town of Yuendamu of a violent Aboriginal offender who'd stabbed first him and then Rolfe's partner with scissors until Rolfe shot him 3 times in 3 seconds. Now, to me, there was never any doubt that Rolfe acted in self-defence, and the body cam video only confirmed it. And what's more, just 3 days early, this same Kumanjayi Walker, who'd say jail time for violent offences, had chased away local police with an axe. But our race-baiting activists, they took over and protests were arranged for, claiming alleged police brutality to Aborigines, arranged from Yuendamu to our biggest cities. And in the Northern Territory, Chief Minister Michael Gunner and his brand new hand-picked Chief Commissioner Jamie Chalker seemed clearly alarmed. Just 3 days after the shooting, Gunner and Chalker flew to Yuendamu to plead for peace. And Gunner made the angry crowd an unusual promise that there would be an inquest and, I quote, consequences would flow. Which consequences? Against Rolfe? In fact, the very next day, Rolfe was charged with murder against the protests of detectives investigating the case. Now, there's much more I could tell you. I told you a fair bit last night, but you get the drift, this rush to charge Rolfe in just 4 days stank of politics, not justice. And last Friday, a jury threw out all the charges. Well, today the Police Association boss in the Northern Territory let fly.
What was clear from the evidence presented throughout the trial by the prosecution was it was never enough evidence to lay the most serious charge of murder on Constable Rolfe, not even close to enough. The actions of senior decision-makers in arresting and charging Constable Rolfe must be interrogated and answers must be provided.
And now the NT Chief Minister and his Police Commissioner are running for cover. The Chief Commissioner said, "How dare we suggest that the rush charging of Rolfe after just 4 days was political. Such unfounded allegations," he said, "are an affront to the critical independence of the Northern Territory Police and the Director of Public Prosecutions and damage the trust and confidence in the criminal justice system." And Chief Minister Gunner went on radio to sneer at people who wanted an investigation into all this. He sounded furious, defensive.
So you're totally ruling out any other independent look at this and any independent look into whether there's been any kind of political interference?
You're asking if I'm a conspiracy nut, and I'm saying no, I'm not.
No, I'm not asking if you're a conspiracy nut. I'm actually
representing. I'm not going down that path.
I'm representing the views of the community.
Board can look at this.
I think that's a bit of a ridiculous statement to make. I'm representing views of the community that people are out there saying right now, and if you want to call them conspiracy nuts, it's a bit disrespectful towards them, if I'm honest.
Okay.
Towards members of the public, people who voted for you.
There is an ICAC, they're independent, they can look at anything, and the coroner's independent will also be looking at this.
Good work, that woman. Okay, so Gunner says he wasn't playing politics with this case. He wasn't choosing the protesters above Constable Rolfe when he addressed that crowd in Yuendamu. But let me now show you one more video that I didn't show yesterday. And here is that same Chief Minister the day after Constable Rolfe was charged with murder, making it very clear to me, saying directly, in fact, that his priority was calming the protesters, feeling their grief. He did not say his priority was seeing justice done, not just to the dead man, but to Constable Rolfe.
It is my priority that the community of Yuendamu, a community there's in a lot of pain right now, and other communities and towns in the Northern Territory who are also hurting are supported to return to normal. We cannot and will not let this divide us. I think, like a lot of people right now, I am hurting. Someone has died in the Northern Territory and there are a number of investigations going on, and it is my priority as Chief Minister, it's my job, to try and make sure that the Territory goes through a healing process and we return to normal. Those weren't just words that potentially set the tone for his police command.
These are words that could have influenced a jury against a constable who'd just been stabbed and had shot a man to save his partner's life. I tell you again, heads must roll.